Aimesland Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. I had to not make this like one whole video because like my thumb was hurting. And I'm recording this on my phone. So back where I left off at. It's Halloween, which is the same Halloween that we have, except it's earlier. Like 30 days earlier, and then Aglet Day. Aglet. Aglet. Don't forget it. So it celebrates Aglet shoelaces, and running track and field. But Aglet Day in April 9th they're not supposed to clash, even though they're both footwear days. But it's just one is just specifically flip flops, and the other is just maybe just like shoes in general. I don't know. It's weird. But then again, Aimesland itself is weird. So Beret Day, which is also a day for funny looking or funny shaped hats in general, also when the president declares it. So a president, they can declare a lot of holidays like Beret Day, Day of the Damned. I think there's more or less two. But then you also have President's Day, which is also declared, so it's three. Because it changes very often because it's on the president's birthday, though it's mainly set on April 12th. So I like guess more like the spring is like mainly Aimeslandish time, more like their theme is the spring and flowers, and then the nation's population is 20 million. Even though I should probably have way more than that, but shit. But don't just disregard that number, because Aimeslandish people, their population should be exploding right now with like the Bangladeshi people. So it don't matter. That 20 million number don't matter. Because I remember I was trying to be small, but Aimesland, it kind of makes sense for them to be huge, So disregard that number. We don't have any allies. We don't have any enemies. We neutral. Our issues are things that we have to decide on: internationalism, globalism, expansionism, and irredentism and environmentalism. Aimesland shows more so technocracy or the technical, which I guess it means is they became internationalists, because already they were nationalists, because they were a very isolationist country. So, and then they have no chances of revolting. Like, not many like civil wars or whatever happened, but besides that, if you're talking about like an outside force, then they will revolt. They will do anything in their power to keep their country. So the greatest victory is the war to keep Aimesland safe, which was a massive campaign to keep out raiders and other malevolent forces that wanted to take over the Republic. Which the war to keep Aimesland safe is a hyper war. So I'm kind of like, Aimesland won that war, but if we lost to Nihon, that just made no sense. So I won to Nihon. So, and the most embarrassing defeat was the war on Poseidon, which was when anarcho-environmentalist Aimesland declared war on all aqua or water-based deities in military stats. I don't know why the Imperial is there, and it should be the army of the army of the Republic, or the Republic, but disregard that part. The Imperial Armed Forces, because it's not an empire, obviously. Technically, you can kind of consider it one because it's huge, but 1 million soldier, and then 40 army, 40 navy, and then 20. So yes, is me dividing, but technically I should have way more soldiers. But this is the stuff they use. Avery Ellison is based off of the bomber. The bomber is based off of Enola Gay, but Avery Ellison was actually an important figure in Aimeslander's culture. And then, yeah. And animal warfare is just like dogs and pigs and whatnot, like training them and taming them and using them against enemies. So, and then cavalry you can interpret to be horses or more or less more going into armored cars. But Aimesland, they have their own culture, so I'm assuming, like, not assuming, but like, to be on the defense, I would say that every nation, society, whatever, they have their own culture, so you can't force them to all use just one style of like fighting. And then like their equipment, they have pikes, submachine guns, sniper rifles, hunting rifles, arming pistols, swords, bows, axes, endurance bolt action rifles. Endurance is supposed to be like the I forgot the name of that bolt action rifle. The one is the one in the M1 Garand. That's what endurance is supposed to be like. Armament is supposed to be like the it was a sneaky way of putting like Glocks or M1 911 either or in it. And then Gatling guns and turrets, and then machine guns, flamethrowers, chemical weapons, and then daggers and knives. And then the commander-in-chief of the Aimeslandish military is Sprout Winston. Land Enforcer is the highest rank, which is what there's no real commander-in-chief. The ranking system in Aimesland. So Sprout is the Land Enforcer, and then you have Admiral, Corporal, Lance Corporal, Major, Sergeant, Lieutenant, Second Lieutenant, Fourth Lieutenant, Rank Corporal, Ensign, Cadet, and Enlist. Rank is at the bottom for a reason, because it's like rank, as in like rancor, as in smelly. So it's kind of like, you know. Then again, the rank don't have to make sense because it's their own country. And then Navy use the same ranks, Marines use the same titles as the land soldiers. Why? Because this is all attempt to unite the armies instead of just having like many different armies. Is more or less like one cohesive army structure, like more organization. And then Air Force, their ranks are based off of stripes and uniform colors. Pilot outfits have stripes, and they only have like one color, only a sole color. And then combatants are all technically neutral colors, and air warriors are technically all the colors in the color spectrum. So air warriors the highest, and then cyan stripes are the lowest of the low. And then this is Sprout, 26 years old. She's a girl. She's from she's from Aimesland. She's the president of the Blue Republic of Aimesland. Acronym is a bit unintentional because it's bra, but that's what she looks like. I know she has a huge cake. She has a huge booty, I know. Part of the Aimeslandish genetics, I would imagine. And then I had to cut off a bit of the bio where it was like either she was born at a river, or either she was just born like a normal person at a hospital or whatever. But I had to cut that part off because Manticore was like, why is Sprout Winston's birth like in flux? It's in flux because Aimesland is a Denmark country, which means that they have like they're very old and very ancient. And like you have a lot of leaders and famous people in Aimesland that they could be fake people, they could be real people. They straddle the line in between real and fake, you know. So, and many siblings, and mostly spent a lot of time with her sisters. She never got in a scuffle or rivalry with them though. When she was 4 years old, it's 04, but it's 4 still. Parents placed her in fighting classes and dojos. In preschool, she had to skip some of it because she was gifted. She focused more on fighting, some more, being good at it, very good at it, but also continue to focus on art and the mainly painting and coloring techniques. More or less, think about Sprout as like Bob Ross, kinda. and then like Aubrey Plaza. I really did base Sprout off Aubrey Plaza because Sprout does act really weird and crazy just like Aubrey. So, and then she's Undisputed Beauty Queen. Both not having any challengers and not having any because how beautiful she was. And then she continued with beauty, art, and fighting, but then picked up the trombone and the trumpet. So she was more or less a horned instrument player. And then band was very hard because classmates had made fun of her and bullied her and also tried to sabotage her horns. She later switched schools because of her torment in band, though didn't play her horns at school. She decided to play the sax. She took on accordion and kazoo in band, and she made many friends with fellow saxophonists because of how impressive her saxophone skills were. And then she decided to juggling, and then juggling music and cheerleading. So she does a lot because of the way Aimeslandish culture is that it's very based on talent